Paul said to him, God is going to strike you, you whitewashed wall. Do you sit to try me according to the law, and in violation of the law, order me to be struck? But those present said, Are you insulting God's high priest? And Paul said, I was not aware, brothers, that he is the high priest, for it is written, You shall not speak evil of a ruler of your people. So in verse 1, it says, Paul looked intently. It's also translated earnestly in a couple other versions. And the Greek word here is atenizo or atenizo, and it literally means to look intently with a fixed gaze, to fix your eyes upon. It implies profound seriousness and focus on what. So he's picture how he's saying what he's saying, and then he addresses them as brothers rather than rulers or elders or some other lofty term. He's setting himself on equal footing here with them. So he's dead focused and he addresses them as equals. And and then he tells them that he's essentially been living in accordance with God's will. He declares this, that he's had an entirely good conscience before God. And this claim of good conscience offends the high priest for some reason. And Ananias orders him to be struck in the mouth, punched in the mouth, slapped in the face, something to that effect. And now we know Ananias was a Sadducee, and he was the high priest from around 48 AD to 58 AD, and this would be right at the end of his term, right at the end, because we are, most scholars believe, right at 58 AD here, the end of 58 AD. So this would be the end here, close to the end. And we know he was a corrupt man, Ananias. Josephus tells us that he actually stole tithe money and kept it for himself. And we also know that he had a history of violence, using violence and assassinations to further his interest. And so in Jewish law, because we'll, as we go through this, so Jewish law said it was illegal to strike the cheek of a Jewish man. And then Paul kind of calls him out on that and says, God is going to strike you, you whitewashed wall. And now Josephus also tells us regarding this that around 8 years later, that in the first Jewish Roman war, that Ananias was actually killed, and some say he was hunted down and killed by his own people. So his day was coming.